Welcome back once again. As usual, I have a quick intro before we get into today's video. For those of you who haven't been following the updates on YouTube and Twitter, recently I brought back the Joda Pro series. Joda Pro is a viewer submission analysis series where you guys send me your gameplay and I break it down live on twitch.tv/theshyway. The most recent one I did this past Tuesday was on champion ranked gameplay from Swish 5s. He's playing custom 8s on the rig in Slayer, and the video coming up is going to be a segment of that breakdown. I'm going to be releasing other videos that cover other important sections of that full breakdown, but the full breakdown is available on Twitch. I've linked the exact timestamp in the description below. If you want to keep up with how Joda Pro is going to work in the future, maybe submit some gameplay of your own, for now I would say just follow me on Twitter or join my Discord community. Both of these locations I post updates on things like this. For now, I just wanted to give this a shot, just get back into the swing of things and enjoy the process of doing a live analysis. A little more casual, a little more open discussion format, so hopefully you guys enjoy that different style. And lastly, before we get into it, a quick shout out for Callus. Callus works with me and watches these videos before we go live, and he just gives me some great macro insights that I love to apply to these analysis. So I put his Twitter in the description below. You can give him a follow as well and enjoy this starting strat and general strategy video I've got for Rig Slayer. More to come very soon. So one thing I'm going to say as far as Rig Slayer goes, now this, first of all, there is no set strategy that wins 100% of the time that just works. You know what I mean? Like there's no like, I can't say this is the way to play the map and that's 100% how it is and you got to listen to that going forward. But there is a general understanding that in matchmaking and in something like custom 8s where you don't have two highly coordinated teams, generally speaking, he who controls the inside of the map wins on this map. So the team that controls the inside of the map more so generally wins in this map, especially when you have something like tower control, then you've got good angles to take out players. However, at a high level, when you have teams that are coordinated, you can do other things to counter the inside map play. Like, let's say somebody's controlling tower from inside map, and they're being a total nuisance. What teams do sometimes at a high level is they'll just ignore tower. Like they'll spawn yellow or something and they'll all coordinate a push outside through engine. And in doing so, they remove tower from play. Like think about it. If you're a tower play and everybody's pushing through engine side together, then tower play is just like in a useless angle and you can't be very effective. So depending on the strategy, if you have a very coordinated team, you can counter inside map play. But I would say generally speaking, in matchmaking, in custom 8s, if you control the inside of the map, you can control the game. You're usually gonna win the game. This game, Swish 5s is gonna lose with his team, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fast forward through this and I'll show you. You'll clearly see the other team has inside map control more. I'm just going to hit fast forward and we're going to see what goes down here, okay? We're going to look at all the starting strat and all that shit as well. You'll see like, you know, red team kind of loses this opening strat here. Blue spawns up, they get bunker spawn. So watch how blue continues to spawn bunker. Majority of the game, blue is going to spawn bunker. They're going to take spawn bunker spawn. One player does spawn red here. He's going to die or be replaced by a blue spawn very quickly after, so I'm not going to worry about that one too much, but there are very specific instances where red has an opportunity for inside map control and they lose it. And we're going to look at how they lose those spots, what happens in those scenarios. But inside spawn, once again, blue is still inside the map. See, and here's the red spawn opening. So this is the time of this is 10:31. It was like the first kind of opportunity for inside map control that we'll look at when we get there, okay? Because watch what happens. Dead, dead, dead. Dead. He's going to die. And yeah, blue side spawns up in bunker once again, inside map. And at 9 something, they're going to have another opportunity, or maybe it's like 7, we'll see. Still blue. Majority of the, there it is. There's the next opportunity for inside, right? Right guys spawn inside. So we're going to look at this moment. I think it's around, it's at 9:30. We're going to look at that closely and see what goes wrong, what goes right there. Okay, they're gonna lose it for whatever reason. Blue's gonna spawn inside again, right? Glad you picked a game I lost. That's usually what I do. I go for games that you guys lose, so we can talk about what went wrong. Why'd you lose? It was close though. It was a close loss, but still blue inside. There's gonna be another instance. I think it's around like 7 something, where it happens again. At the very end, there's a massive blunder by you guys on red team. Here's another red opportunity. What time is this? This is 7 something? Yeah, 7:40. There you go. Here's your guys have inside map. What goes wrong? What happens? Why do you lose it? How do you lose it? We're going to find out. There you all diving forward. Watch, you're going to open up bunker by doing this. You know who that is? That's Swish right there. We're going to see that in a second on the corner. We're pushing yellow corner. You opened up bunker. We're going to see that later. Bunker once again. They got inside map. And then I think the last moment is at like the 5-minute mark when you guys go for camo. So here's inside. This is in the 5-minute mark. Swish ends up getting like the final camo here, and then there's just a huge blunder from red team. They're gonna all like clutter up into the white hall, and you guys are gonna die, and that's gonna end the game. I think right about, wait for it, right here. This is the last spawns, and then a nade toss across the map, and damn, defeat. Okay, cool. So as you guys can see from that kind of quick rundown, inside map, like, control was blue team. Like, pretty much the entire game, blue team had the inside of the map. There were like 3 main instances. You had like the 10-minute mark, 9-minute, 30, you had 7 minutes and something, and then at the very end where red had this opportunity for inside control, but they lost it quickly and they lost the game. Now that, like I said, it's not the end-all be-all. Inside map control does not equal a win or a loss or whatever, but I would say likely in matchmaking in a game where players aren't coordinated, it does lead to the win if you have inside map control. Fat Bass, hey, what's up? How's everything going? Everything's going good, man. We're in the process of analyzing gameplay. All right, we're going to look at every single one of red side starting strats. I could also just like kind of do a quick, we'll just see what blue does off the start just real quick. Kind of like a lot of the general stuff, like this is fine. He goes for the main door. You've got the sniper, which is always important, so somebody's going to dive for it. You guys send 2 snipe. Tort does an interesting play. He dives into trenches. Instead of going immediately for camo, he tries to be sneaky. He's going to go back trench like that and try to get around. Now, all of these work. They're fine. There's a couple like high level, like more advanced plays that you could go for. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but the spring thrust that you could do to get up to here, which these aren't necessary, but they could have positive benefits if you're really good at pulling it off and you're quick. You could spring thrust up here. You could challenge Whitehall maybe, and you can try to stop these guys who are probably pushing up ready for something like sniper. You might be able to get the upper hand on them. Something I do all the time. It's just my habit, and I just enjoy doing it because it's fun. And I'm terrible at controlling this camera, guys, so bear with me. I spawn and I do a super jump, or bum jump, which credits to Bum Jammas. Apparently that's the guy who came up with the bum jump. I've been calling it the super jump, but he found it and he named it the bum jump, so I got to give him the credit. Bum Jammas came up with it. Anyway, you do the perfect jump, and Evan Long with a follow, thank you, welcome. If you get up here with the jump and you're very quick and you're very accurate when you get up here, players, you can get up here before they get to the camo, and you can catch them throwing nades. You can catch them thrust sliding over to the camo and get like a free kill, maybe. If it's strongholds, you can actually grab rail, and if you die with rail, you could throw it off the map, or you could try to get a kill with rail and just be so annoying, because that super jump, if you do it perfectly, you get there before everybody else. So that's like something that I do all the time, but sometimes what happens, and like totally fair if it happens, you just get lasered by like 4 people if you're not careful when you do it. So those are kind of your options, generally speaking, for blue. I'm not going to look into first person for those guys. I will be looking in first person for all of the red guys, though, and just kind of talk about what goes down here. A couple blunders, in my opinion. Wish all my future teammates could hear this. Mason, 1 with the follow. Thank you, dude. Welcome. Okay. Who are we going to look at first? Sway? Fine, we'll look at no, do we want NWK first? Let's look at NWK. All right, NWK is going to sprint, jump thrust to engine 2. He's going to see somebody and try shooting at him, get distracted by that, throws a nade, gets sniped, doesn't burn his thrust here. The only thing I could really say about NWK in this situation, other than just the blunder of his like teammate beside him as well, is like, so he spawns up, he's shooting this direction, focused on this, he gets shot in the side with a sniper, he doesn't burn his thrust that he still has, and he dies. So the only real thing I could say about like him being in that situation is he did have an opportunity to escape with a thrust, but you know, like, it's a total nitpick to really worry about. So it's fine. Like the strategy that he went for is fine. I don't really agree, because he got there first, I don't really agree with what Josu does. He does the same thing, but then he looks the other direction, and it just ends up looking so sloppy. Like, maybe he should go E1, or... Here, watch this. Exact same thing, except he does this, and then they're, like, shooting across from it. He's in front of... It's just... This is a terrible way to get things started. He's got his teammate blocking him. He does a jump thrust forward, which is a full commit forward, so he better get that kill, because he's dead. 100% he's dead for doing what he just did. He gets the kill. So it's a trade, so at least he got a trade, but he's dead because he committed himself with a jump thrust forward. He probably didn't need to go like full gung-ho jump thrust forward, but whatever. He got the trade. That's something. That's fine. Llama Lotion has the best opening strat, and then we also have Swish, which I have a lot to say for Swish. The one thing about Llama Lotion, though, is he has an opportunity to get the camo. All three of those guys,
Slayer.
I mean, okay.
Let's see what you can do.
Let's look at it real quick, just so I can see the order of it. If you spawn, I personally feel that if you spawn in the front position, if you're this guy, it's probably like Sway or NWK, I think you should try to go for the immediate camo play. Like, you guys should know this by now. If you sprint, so sprint, jump, sprint, maintain forward, time a thrust slide on contact with the floor, so you thrust, slide, jump, you will fly to camo and you can grab it instantly. It's the fastest way to get to camo off of red spawn. If you get front spawn, I feel like because you're in front, you should just go for it. You have that opportunity. You should try to get that camo. Usually you get there before anybody else can counter it or knock it down. If you do that, great. If somebody does a hard counter immediately, then shit, you know, that sucks. But 99% of the time when I go for that in matchmaking, I get the camo first. I land in trenches. Yes, it's kind of a risky place to be, but you could take it this direction and then clamber up here and go around, or you can spring jump up to rail, or you can just go around this way. So that's a good escape. Is don't go up into the window. I'd say it's very dangerous to go up window, very dangerous to take it up this direction because you're taking it to the enemy. But if you drop to the floor, immediately go up here, you're out. Normally you can make that work if you're quick. So I just think like Llama should have considered it, because Llama's the only one in position to do it. So sprint, maintain forward, thrust, slide, you could have got it. The other guys should have done it before, but because they didn't do it, I would have done it if I could have. But Llama, other than that, Llama does some pretty good shit. Let's take a look. So he's going to jump thrust forward here. Gets in a battle with Garfinkel. He's one bullet, knocks his shields off. He's also one shot, but he will do the jump thrust challenge, which I'm okay with. He doesn't get the opportunity to shoot. He goes for a reload. Maybe he shouldn't have done the early reload, but that's fine. Gets in a perfect position to finish off Tort, so he'll finish him off. And then he jumps into trenches, and I love how he plays this, okay? So he's weak in trenches, and he's like, shit, I got to escape. He clambers up to window, and then he does the smartest thing. He goes right back down, all right? Which, that kind of challenge I think is so great. If you can go up and then re-challenge back down, because watch what it does to the enemy. It completely mindfucks the guy above him. And I'm sorry that, like, every time I press back, it's going to take a jump, a big jump back, and I can't control that. Like, I can't fine-tune rewind. So, Muggsy, you're in the chat. You work at 343. My biggest request for Halo 5 Theater is just let me rewind precisely, please, so I don't have to, like, jump backwards every time I want to show something, because it's so tedious. But I doubt you have any pull over that. So yeah, so watch what happens here. He gets the kill, drops in a trench, takes damage, jumps up to window, fakes it out, comes back down, and then watch what happens to the guy above. He sees him clamber, and he's like, oh shit, he's going to come out the other side. But he doesn't go out the other side. And then he just drops off, doesn't see him. He goes here, and then watch, he's going to double back. Kills Trap. Done. Trap isn't ready for it. Kills him, goes back around, and then comes up this direction. He's going to get another kill. Gets the upper hand on Tort. The only thing I have issue with here is I don't know if he needed to burn his thrust as early as he did, but he is taking shots in the back. So fine. He gets the kill, and then he tries to go for a backsmack. He doesn't get it. But that would have been freaking sick if he did the backsmack on Garfinkel. I think everything he did as far as trying to do that backsmack was executed as well as he could have executed it. But Garfinkel, I mean, it's very difficult to land that without a thrust. So I appreciate it, though. I think the biggest thing is just recognizing that when you're in trouble like that and you do a jump up to this window, if you feint it, you can screw over your opponent sometimes. So just thinking about knowing your opportunity when to re-challenge in a situation where somebody knocks you down and they're like, oh, I popped his shield, he's definitely running away. If you instantly re-challenge, and this is the same with so many different scenarios, you can actually catch them slipping. You can catch them looking away, maybe pop another shot, or you can escape from that situation and, you know, get to another vantage point, whatever it is. It doesn't always work, but it can work, and when it does work, it's pretty exceptional. So something to consider. Okay, now we're going to look at Swish. And see how that went down.
Let's see what you can do.
The one thing to think about in this situation, as far as like where everybody goes off spawn, is nobody goes tower, unfortunately. And I feel like tower is important to go for. So like 2 people go engine, or I guess, yeah, 2 people go engine 2, and then you have Llama who goes engine 2 to push up this direction. Swish is going to go under. but nobody goes tower. And I feel like tower is good to take advantage of if you can. If you can get to tower and then jump up to T3 really quickly, you can see shoddy. You can nade shoddy. You can see if anybody contests it. And you're in a position to get an angle on camo as well. So I think tower is something that you should consider if you guys have an opportunity to do it, to really kind of like, even out your options as a team, is to consider tower. Nobody does it. But Swish spawns bottom, and it makes sense that from this position, it doesn't make sense for him to do the camo play that I talked about. He's not going to be able to make that work. He's going to grab the DMR, and this is where it gets kind of iffy, where I don't really agree with what he does here. He slides in, and he's taking the angle on basement. Now, basement window, sure, that's an effective place to go. A player might challenge basement window, but if you think about it, and you think about what your team is doing, everybody's looking that direct. Well, okay, now these guys are fucking turning, but people are looking this direction. Like, you got Garfinkel's above you looking at that door. You've got the other guy, I think it's NWK, looking. You got this guy shooting across from him. People are holding this angle. I feel like if you want to be effective, you should go here. You should go to this spot and worry about the trench, worry about the camo. You're in a position to shoot camo, you can see trench, and you can see Tort make this play, because you go here, and then you decide to go to the spot that I think you should go to. Now you're here, and you don't see Tort because you go there late, and Tort's going to go try to grab that camo. You jump in, you see him while you're jumping, and now it's like, fuck, I've got to try to grab camo and fight this guy, and as a result, you're going to get a camo burn. Bam, now you're dead, you get a camo burn, which is okay, you get a camo burn, that's fine. I just think that if you take that DMR to this spot and you isolate an angle where like you're looking trenches, you're ready for somebody to contest that camo, and that's your focus, and you can, I guess, jump in if you want to, whatever. By standing on this box, if you're good at spring jumping, you can also contest rail too. Like, you can do some nutty shit just by being in this spot. You have options. So I feel like the angle that you took was kind of redundant, but yeah, you got a camo burn, so it's not terrible. I'll give Llama Lotion the MVP of the starting strats, though, just because he gets all these slays and he does that nutty thing.